Hey everybody, Wanna Weasem here. Sunday, January 12th, 2014, 4:20 in the morning. If you're thinking, man, what have you been doing? You did the Shipwreck Island like an hour ago. That is correct. After taking wind up through that arena challenge, I was playing around. My platinum treasure chest apparently does not register as a platinum treasure chest. Not sure what's up with that, but got to playing around. I took a couple other I took Thornhorn Camo, kind of getting some cash. Then I took him. I wanted to see how he would do box stock in the arena challenge. Then I remembered that I had planned to go box stock with my nephew. Today, hopefully, record that, kind of highlight the Archean crossbow stuff. And sadly, he came out of there at level 6, which would skew things against a box stock Grim Creeper. So took Grim Creeper through there. Both of them completed it flawlessly. It didn't take any damage or anything. Both are level 6 now. Granted, the health on Camo a little bit higher, but I mean, essentially, even though they're both level 6, that kind of negates the difference, because box stock, there'd be a discrepancy there too. Anyway, what we're going to do now is come in, and then I did a couple other things. I was working on some other quests for some characters. That said, nothing cool. I mean, you haven't missed any upgrades. I haven't done any of those still, so fear not. I've just kind of been taking care of like the background stuff. So what we're going to do now, though, is introduce Spyrise. Spyrise was the last of the Wave 3 swappers for me to actually obtain. Found him at Toys R Us Thursday night, along with Lightcore Countdown, Lightcore Whamshell. Got him unboxed, and then of course I kind of forgot to introduce him. So I guess I was just too stoked for the Battle Pack and Adventure Pack. Nonetheless, he is coming. FedEx did deliver the others, so now I'll have one more to take down the other path, and I guess I'll give the other one to my nephew or something. That said, I had Blast Zone in here right after I said that chest has been magic almost every time. The 3 or so times I've cycled in and out, it's been undead, fire this time around, and then air right prior to that, so go figure. Anyway, gonna pull Blast Zone, and this should net us an accolade for both climbing ones and both tech, given that we have Magna Charge. So I've heard nothing but good stuff about Spyrise. We're going to stick him on and see how things go down. So without further ado, we're going to back out and we will check out his introduction.
It's classified.
Okay, he's kind of reminds me of Bouncer. There's Great Heights. And
Rank up.
Okay, we ranked up. Okay, I thought there actually would have been another one, but nonetheless, can't complain too much about that. Box stock, he comes in, as you can see there, 270. His speed is 43. Kind of looks funky when he runs, but I mean, for a character with 43, he seems to be one of the faster ones. You have some characters at 43 that are like him, and they seem a little peppier than that. And then you've got some at 43, and you're like, really? You sure it's not like 25 or something? That said, what does he look like when he jumps? I thought he might have a cool mechanic. Check out that shadow, though. That's a lot of the stuff people overlook sometimes. There he is on the mushroom. That's really your best bet for checking that out. But not too shabby. His primary attack is going to be called, what was it, Spider Blaster? Like something like that. Of course, the sheep's in our way. Well, bad news for you. That got him out of the way. Looks like that's actually really cool, because it like splits off like that. Wow, and it fires really fast. I mean, I'm just rapid tapping. It's going to deal 20 to 30. But the cool thing is, usually you have to upgrade to kind of like get it to fork off. Gildrum comes to mind. Got a nice little radius there, so you could picture like a hostile mob coming at you, and that will take care of it. So that's pretty cool. Second one, not necessarily in that order. It's going to be, that was his primary attack for the top end, and then his secondary attack, or the primary attack for the bottom end, whatever you need to call it. I think it was climbing, some spider climb. We'll get the names here in a second. Let's go ahead and see what happens. that's really cool. As you should know by now, what I kind of enjoy most with Skylanders is like the unique stuff. Terrafin burrows, Jetvac has a suction gun, Zulu doesn't actually touch it. Little things like that, you know, there's so much potential here. You don't need just like a bland, you know, look at me, I've got a gun with bullets in it. You need to be creative. That was really cool. He basically, it's almost like Snake in Smash Bros. He just kind of like disappears up, you know, you can essentially tap A and you just see that green like reconnaissance icon on the screen, and then he just drops down out of the sky. So I intentionally came down here to the lowest point here, and I'm going to see what kind of range we've got on this thing. So here we go, pressing A. I'm just... So apparently you still have to maintain, like I can't just go through that wall. I guess I'd have to take the stairs. Let's try that. Okay, I mean I can work with that. Let's see if he can go down. No. The walls, everything is going to be, you know, non-passable. Now, let's say an enemy's coming and you're like, oh geez, not ready for this, got low health or something. We'll come up and then we'll pretend that this dummy was that enemy. That was 68. Let me see if we can control the drop. I just let that time out. Now I'm going to press A, drop down instantly. Let me let it do its own time and see if it does 69. No, so apparently 45 to 68 on that, which is pretty good. And then he's got, what I like best about that primary attack, it doesn't have a stupid meter on it. So many times when the tech characters have something cool going, it like overheats or it times out or there's like a little lag before you can do it. Spyrise is having none of that. He's just kind of cleaning house. Now this is just awesome though, the fact that he can just kind of go up in the air tomorrow. Yeah, if my nephew and I get to record and we do the Archean crossbow matchups, I know he likes Blast Zone really well. I'll see if I can talk him into being Blast Zone, and I'll be like, yeah, I'll be Spyrise. We'll see how that goes. I don't know that he could beat Blast Zone, but I do know that if I go off the screen like that, it's going to freak my nephew out. I mean, check this out. You could be standing right here, you tap A, and your character just disappears. I mean, just insanely cool. Then you drop down and do pretty good damage. My biggest surprise, though, is kind of how nimble he is. That said, before I get too infatuated here, let's go ahead and pause this. Come in, go to collection. We're going to cycle to Spyro's head. 109 overall now. Wait a minute. I put that platinum treasure chest on and it didn't say anything. Oh, it's those two. Yeah, why won't my platinum treasure chest register? That's going to be a problem. Anyway, I really do have it. I bought the GameStop exclusive Battleground starter pack to get Royal Double Trouble a while back. So that's kind of a disappointment. That said, tech element up to 13. That ties it with earth. It's above air and water, so kind of catching up with fire. Let's come in here. And he should be at the very end over here. There he is, Spyrise. Slogan, it's classified. Again, he sounds to me kind of like a Bouncer Terrafin hybrid, maybe something along those lines. Could be wrong. Again, bear in mind I don't have the game audio on my headset because it lags a couple seconds behind, so I'm just kind of listening to a low volume TV. But that said, let's go ahead and read that bio. Really cool artwork there. That must be something we've got to look forward to. Spyrise, it's classified. From the moment he could crawl, Spyrise wanted nothing more than to join his father in the family business as a private investigator. But after being hired by a shadowy figure to gather information on the Cloudbreak Islands, his father vanished, leaving Spyrise alone to search for answers. He scoured the land for clues using his immense skill in reconnaissance, as you can see from the secondary attack on the primary bottom end, to track down his missing father, but all roads came up empty. Then one day he received a tip from none other than the greatest portal master of them all, Master Eon, which led him to a hidden lair near Mount Cloudbreak, where he not only found his long-lost father, but also uncovered an evil plot to take control of the magical volcano during the next eruption ceremony. With his father safe, Spyrise decided to pursue a new career, as a member of the Skylanders. Again, that bio is unique for the simple fact it doesn't end in tragedy. He actually found his dad, rescued him, and to boot that, he uncovered, the little conspiracy theory to take over the volcano. Now he's a Skylander, so worked out pretty well there. It's unlike Chill, Igniter, all the other characters kind of hunting for the person that's wronged them. So we'll back out of here. Gonna come in now to Skylander.
You
Take a
know,
look at stats.
this is classified information.
Okay, I couldn't really hear that well, but 270 on the max health, 43 on the speed. He is one of the quicker 43s, it seems. Armor 18. His critical hit is actually 8. Again, I did that second solo survival arena, and it gave me a charm for +1 critical hit. Elemental power, he is +70 from the box stock 25, placing him at 95. So we'll back out of here. We want to take a look at these upgrades. This is the big deal. Now, with the Swap Force character, you have upgrades for the top and for the bottom, not like any other Skylander you're used to. Be they, SSA Originals, Giants, literally the Giants, Light Cores, or anything. There's upgrade paths for the top and the bottom, does not follow the same format. So, from this point forward, everything I talk about is going to be the top half of Spy Spy, if you will, until we come back to this screen and I tell you we're going to be looking at the bottom end. So, let's get started here. He begins, it is called Spider Blaster. Press Y to shoot 3 spider projectiles that slow any enemies it hits. So that's really cool. I think it was 20 to 30, and then the fact that it's going to slow enemies down, that is another perk. There's kind of a 2 for 1. Now note, there's no check mark on this next one. That's because this is his only box stock ability on the top end. You have to buy these next 3, then you pick a path with 2, and then you have a soul gem. So that's kind of the layout, if you will. Speaking of that, first purchased upgrade for Spy is going to be Super Spy Scanner S3. Hold X, that's your tertiary attack, for a short time to scan a nearby enemy. Release to shoot a high-powered laser. Fully scanned enemies take additional damage. Again, that's something I'll have to see how it goes. I don't know, like, if you can tell when it's fully scanned. I assume you can. If you can pick to end it prematurely, etc. We'll just kind of see how it goes. Second purchase upgrade is called Spider Sting. Press Y next to an enemy with low health to sting them and steal some health. That's pretty sweet. So he can go in if an enemy is about to die. I don't know how you know they have low health. I guess if they're garden variety and you kind of know how many hits it takes to beat them, you could probably ballpark it. But the bottom line is he can take health back, and that's pretty cool. So you're killing the enemies with your primary attacks, and then in close quarters you do your primary and you can take health. So really cool there, kind of some super slick detective type stuff. Final base upgrade for the top end of Spy Rise is Future Tech. Super Spy Scanner S3 and Spider Blaster do increased damage. Again, his upgrades very, very cool thus far. Now, you're probably thinking, hey, what's the deal? There's not a fourth one, and what's up with those 2? There's supposed to be 3. That's the way the Swap Force go. You've got your box stock ability, then you've got 3 upgrades you can purchase. Then you have to pick a path, and each path only has 2. Now, on the top end, you have Web Spinner and Shock Spy. We're going to come up here and take a look at Web Spinner first. It starts with Cocoon Spinner. Hold Y to shoot a stream of web projectiles that slow and cocoon enemies. This guy just keeps getting better, and again, that reminds me of Spider-Man. Spent a lot of time playing those games when I was little on my Genesis. Coming over next, the last one down the web spinner is Experimental Webs. Cocoon Spinner does increase damage. The experiment seems to be going well. I would have to agree. Now, for whatever reason, you're already content with that, or you're not into it, or you simply think, hey, this Shock Spy thing looks pretty cool, you would be taking Shock Spy. It begins with Electro Web Pulse Bomb. Hold Y to charge a web bomb. Release to throw it, which damages and slows enemies in a larger area. Next up, we have Improved EPB. Electro Web Pulse Bomb does increased damage and has a larger explosion. So that's a deal. You kind of have to pick your poison, and I tell you what I usually say. I'm glad I have 2 Spy Rises. I can explore both paths, enjoy each of them. Now, that's not all, though. You're probably thinking, hey, what's that deal on the end? That's a Soul Gem. They have Soul Gems specifically for the top and the bottom on these swappers. So, Soul Gem for Spy is going to be Spy with a Golden Hand. Gain a new Golden Blaster that shoots 5 projectiles at once. That's going to be pretty crazy. Of course, these are going to be holding Y, both of them, so that's kind of how you differentiate. And then this one is you've got to be like up next, close to the enemy to do the stinger. So that is pretty cool stuff. He looks very promising. I'm going to go ahead back out of here. I told you when we came back to this screen, everything would change. You can see me slide down here to bottom. What this means, everything we talk about now is going to be related to the bottom end of Spy Rise, or Rise, if you will. So let's go ahead and take a look at what he's got. Okay, this first thing, his secondary attack, it is called Spider Climb, and it is cool. Press A to climb into the air with Electro Web. Dropping back down will damage nearby enemies. Again, what was it, 45 to 68? So fairly significant damage when you do drop down. 3 upgrades you'll have for the bottom end before you pick a path. They begin with Spider Mine. Press A to climb into the air and drop a spider mine that will seek out and explode on nearby enemies. If this works the way I think it will, you'll be up in the air, immune from damage. I guess there might be some like projectile shooters that could potentially hit you. I don't know if you're off the screen or what, but it's going to minimize the amount of damage you could take, and that's pretty cool. Second upgrade is Spider Mine 002. Press A to climb into the air, dropping 2 spider mines at once. So if one's good, 2 must be twice as good. So, final base purchased upgrade for Rise is going to be Rapid Laser Legs V17. Press A to climb into the air, and then hold A, not press A, but hold A, while in the air to drop down and shoot electric bolts at enemies. I don't know the duration or the damage on this, but regardless, it's going to be pretty cool. So he can kind of, again, get above the competition, if you will, literally, and then kind of unload. So that is a welcome addition. Now, on the bottom ends, Rise, whatever you need to call them, you have these base upgrades we've covered, and then you have to pick a path. Top path is going to be called Fire Tech. It begins with foot-mounted flame. Hold A to shoot flames from the feet, damaging any enemies that come too close. It is followed up with Blue Flame. That will suit him really nicely. Flamethrower deals increased damage. Experimental feet fuel turns flames blue. If that doesn't interest you, or perhaps this one interests you more, it's called the Electrotech path. It is the Pulse Cannon. Hold A to charge a laser blast. Release to shoot a massive wave of energy at enemies. Following that up is the Advanced Pulse Cannon. Increased damage out of Pulse Cannon. At least this one is an experimental, right? And that, of course, you can, again, pick whether you want to do Fire Tech or Electrotech, but then you get the Soul Gem for the bottom half. It is Omega Sky Laser. Hold Y while in the sky, so we're finally uniting the primary and secondary, to shoot down a massive laser that stuns enemies. That sounds pretty cool and promising. So, Mr. Spy Rise, again, based on what I see here, he is someone that you are definitely going to want to have 2 of, so you can fully explore both paths, mix and match all your combos, etc. Let's back out of here, back out of there. Take a look at his quest. Defeat 1,000 enemies, eat 15 fruits, don't take damage, non-story mode that is, win 10 PvP, reach level 20, get all his upgrades. If for whatever reason you didn't like him, this encourages you to buy all his upgrades, play with them, get him to level 20, and that should change your mind, not only for Spy Rise, but any Skylander. Tech specific now, 7,500 elemental bonus damage. The 2 big tech ones really. Out techs, defeat Glumshanks and Jungle Rumble without switching Skylanders. Spy Rise, it will be a cakewalk, I would imagine. Coming down, Problem Solver, complete a total of 25 lock-picking puzzles. I did check on this. Who did I use? I can't even... I don't know, I had some tech character that I used, and it actually does count when you do the shock and the bolt one here in Woodboro, so that was a pretty cool deal. Now, the big quest is his personal quest. Let's take a look at it. Finishing touch, spider sting 25 enemies. All you really have to do to that is refrain yourself from using his aerial attacks, and then just kind of be in the mix with the enemies, and you'll eventually take care of it. 25 is not going to be bad at all. So we'll back out of there, back out of here. That is it for Spire Eyes. Very, very impressive character. I'm excited to get him upgraded. That said, that basically wraps up the introductions for now. This is essentially all of Wave 3 has been introduced. We got the Battle Pack, we got the Adventure Pack, we got the 3 Swappers, we got the guys from Toys R Us December 22nd. Everything is pretty well covered. I'd say I wouldn't expect Wave 4 for a while, but I'm sure if I say that, it'll show up on Monday or something. But I really don't think we should see it, for quite some time. They've been pacing it out a little bit better now than at launch. Definitely looking forward to Wave 4, but the best part for me about not having the characters to unbox and introduce is simply the fact I get to play with them in the actual story mode, quests, arena challenges, etc. So I am pretty excited about that. It's 4:41 right now, a.m., mind you. I don't do anything when the sun's up. I had planned to do Iron Jaw Gulch, and then I kind of got carried away checking into the arenas and things like that. I'm tempted to, I don't know why, but I'm tempted to run Mornado through Terrafin, perhaps, the basic arenas, kind of get them leveled up a bit. I might actually do that and edit a video or two, get them going. If you see this video before you see like part 3 and 4, those are all on YouTube, with the exception of like 46 to 54, which the software cropped down. I may actually use those because sadly I cannot replicate when I first put Stink Bomb on the portal. I can't like go in and just undo the accolades and whatnot. You can actually see pretty much everything you need to. It's just, I don't know, it's like if you're looking at the TV and then I came in and I taped off a third of it on each side. I'm sure it's going to tick some people off, but the fact of the matter is an HD recording. You can see what you need to, and quite frankly, it'll save me a ton of time. And instead of doing something over, I can come in and like be done with Chapter 9 and have all of that uploaded. So I think that's probably the route to take. That said, this guy is freaking awesome, just box stock. I really am impressed with him, and like I said, I'm very excited to see kind of how he pans out here. But I'm going to quit rambling. I might get one of these videos rendering and uploading, and then another one rendering while that one's uploading, and try to get some sleep. But while that goes on, I'm probably going to take a couple of guys through some arenas, work on some quests and whatnot. So don't worry, won't be doing any upgrades or anything that people want to see recorded, let alone Chapter 6, but might play around a little bit, see what we can't do. So stay tuned for that. But again, for right now, as of 4:44 a.m. Sunday the 12th, 2014, January, we are pretty well home free on these introductions. So I might backtrack the playlist, meaning you see part 59, 58, 57, yada yada, then number 3. I might mix it in and do like 55 through 59 and 3 through 8. I don't really know what I'm going to do. 95% of those videos are on YouTube. I just literally have to click public. So rest assured there, and then I'll kind of get in. When we go into Chapter 6, Iron Jaw Gulch, everything will be recorded in HD just like this. It looks way, way better than what I had Again, still loving the new TV. There's like places in this playthrough that were totally pitch black, and now they're like purple and blue and yellow. So you can imagine how happy that makes me. But I'm going to quit rambling. Again, I am stoked about Spy Rise. Going to spend a little bit more time playing here. If I don't go straight into Iron Jaw Gulch, I'm going to have some fun, level a few characters up and whatnot. So I'll be doing that. I'll get a video rendering for you. You may see this one before you see Introduction 3, but like I said, once I kind of get the ball rolling there's going to be a steady stream of videos, and while I'm making those public, won't do them all at once. I kind of want to space it out a little bit, but rest assured I will be doing Chapter 6 and progressing, possibly even going into the upgrades, starting with these most recent characters: Spy Rise, Stink Bomb, Rubble Rouser, Smolder, everything like that. So I think we'll have some fun. Hopefully everyone enjoys it. Again, delay, new capture card, new TV, the technical issues behind them, but this is really the payoff at this point. I'm super excited about it all, and I haven't really been having issues dropping frames like I used to with the old device, which it was just totally at random too, is what was crazy. Granted, like the movies and the cutscenes would kind of cue it up sometimes, but that blacked out. That probably means I've been talking too long. If you listen to this stuff, thank you. Make sure you're subscribed. That'll keep you up with all the latest. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. Again, I'm going to go have some fun doing this. I'll have some vids rendering and uploading, and I will catch everyone back for Chapter 6, Iron Jaw Gulch.